Final hour. In this hour. I'll rock out tower. How great I am, me the power. Don't fold, y'all be in the final hour. Like the whole world find out we like some. Who know the laws, who the one gon' teach them right? The Pharisees, who the one gon' teach them Christ? Yeah, we been down, lied to for so long. Now I was in the sins from the throne. Come out of her, but your sins come out with her relax.
All the wrong. Down. In the final. In the wall. Had to. We waiting in this water of iniquity. We making it through though, baby. The lies they taught us. Back to the borders, baby. Welcome to the Hebrew state of I am your humble servant and host for today. In the building, I got my rib, my butter pecan, Miss Artist 28, and I got my youngin' Bella Song in the building. Yes. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. That was Hezekiah and the song This Hour. And he has the 144 up there. If you are not familiar with what 144 means in the scripture, it is the seals of the ones that will come for destruction in the name of the Most High in the end times. A righteous 144 men. So today's title and lesson is a collection of righteous men. In today's hour, as the song says, in this hour, we have a lot going on, right? We have a plantation, two actually, to burn down, one here in Louisiana in Iberville Parish, one of the biggest in the entire United States. Yeah, built in 1850 something, right around the time they say slavery was supposed to have been abolished. But they're building the biggest one that will be known in history. Isn't that interesting? I see Brother Iwana in the building. I see Chase in the building. I see my cousin Michael in the building. And of course, my rib is in the building. That's what they're showing me on screen as we speak. Everybody else that's in the building, all praise to Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. In this hour right now, we have reports of 11 inmates that escaped from OPP as these plantations are burning down simultaneously. These things are happening. Then wake up this morning and there's reports that 2 Ku Klux Klan members found themselves in Glenwood Park, I think, or Glen Park in Atlanta, and got shot and killed because they wore hoodies into the park around a bunch of Negroes, melanated people. You know, y'all call them African Americans. I'm a Negro. So, you know, all of this is happening in this hour. You know what I mean? You cannot ignore that these things are all happening at the same time. So therefore, you got to have a little bit of connectivity, right? Even in the supernatural world, you got plantations that are extremely far from each other, burned down. You have inmates that are part of the present day plantation, right? As they tell us, the pipeline from school to prison is a very real thing in the South. I'm sure all across this United States, but definitely here in the South, pipeline to the prison, from high school to prison is a real thing. So you see these prisons that are invested in by the corporations that run our nation. These same corporations were the houses that brought in slavery here. House of Virginia, House of Bourbon. Yeah. You know, the Bourbon Street that you like to dance on and get drunk on. That's the house that actually overcame the Aboriginal here and then brought the slaves here. The House of Bourbon, which were the French, the royal family of the French, also the royal family of the Spanish, their cousins. And they built what you would call a shell company to hide all their goods from their House of Bourbon, their original corporation. They created another side corporation we call, you know, where you hide monies. They called this house the House of D. Orleans. We're in New Orleans. So what I'm expressing to you is these houses of corporations now that perpetuate the slavery through the prison industrial system, low education, redistricting our districts so that we have the poorest people in those, so that we get the least federal funding. See, if you didn't know, our neighborhoods and the funding for our neighborhoods come from the collective amount of money that's made in that community. So as if you go to buy a home and you're looking at homes in 150,000 to a 250,000 range, that entire neighborhood, they're going to send you to an entire neighborhood that's built with those specifications that you can afford in between 150,000 and 250,000. Now, the school in that particular area is going to get federal funding off of $200,000 as being the income of that neighborhood. So you're going to get that much. So a place like St. Charles, where their annual property of their homes is in the millions, then the schools in that area will get federal funding according to that money. That's slavery and racism right there in your face by the law. Check my footwork if you think I'm lying. I know what I'm speaking of. So when you see these 11 people running, and as one of these city council members got on NBC and talked about they're a danger to themselves and a danger to the community, and they can't believe that they would do something like that. So the plantations burned down. And because of our particular president of this nation and this industrial complex of prison and weapons, because of their actions, these KKK members felt emboldened to go into a black park in Atlanta with their Ku Klux Klan outfits on and were unalived, as they say. So it brought me to righteous man. What is a righteous man? Is a righteous man black? No. Is a righteous man white? No. Is a righteous man Chinese? No. Is a righteous man yellow? Aboriginal? Is red? Does righteousness coincide with a color, a race? No, it does not. So you cannot categorize righteousness by a race of people. You cannot. Because no people is a monolith. No one group of people believe in the same thing that walk like robots in unison. It does not happen. The Most High created a group, a blood, a tribe of people to uphold righteousness, to be an example of the word that he had put forth for us to follow in his Old Testament, his Torah, or his Tanakh. These were prophets that he gave his word on what righteousness is, because that would be the only thing that he would save. The Most High said, look, I'm going to let my prophets tell you the only thing that I will save, the only thing that I will put my hands on, the only thing that I will ordain has to be righteous. I see my brother Israel is in the building. I see Nicola is in the building. So these prophets were given the word by the Most High to give the example of what righteousness is, not according to race or according to the blood tribe that he had ordained to do it, which would be Judah, having the scepter, having the crown, having the responsibility to keep his word, to walk the walk, not to just talk the talk. Because when we just talk the talk, he destroyed us and put us into bondage into many nations. Because we did not do our part. But for the prophets who were righteous men, the Most High said that it's no longer about blood being righteous or a tribe being righteous, that when it comes to the world, anyone that does what I say in this book will be deemed righteous, whether he's red, whether he's yellow, whether he's black, whether he's white, whether he's mulatto, whether he's cocoa, whether he's swarthy, whether he's Neanderthal. I want y'all to be clear that there is a code of righteousness that supersedes racism, that supersedes the corporate order, that supersedes the penal system. Today's lesson is a collection of righteous men. We're going to blow the shofar so we can get our scripture going, because it is Shabbat, the Sabbath, and we are in the order of the Most High. We have chosen his yoke. We have chosen to be an example of his righteousness. So let us do that. We will stand to the east. And as we stand to the east, as always on this Shabbat, we pray that the Most High is answering your prayer. So when you are praying, you're saying we are praying to the Most High, that no matter what my words are, what scripture my family has brought forth on this title, that this answers the questions that you've been having throughout your week, throughout your month, throughout your year, throughout your life. That it comes from these scriptures, not my word, not my kids, not my wife. And when you do that, we pray that the Most High levels you up when you accept that these words are now resonating with you and you accept it to be his truth. We pray that the Most High levels you up right then and there, that moment, whether it be next year, next month, next year, or this second. All praises will stand to the east and go this shofar. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. All praise Shabbat Shalom. Yes, we are in the building, man. So look, let's get to it. Our first script is going to be 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. Yeah, 7 verse 14. And it reads, we'll start here. Following the prescription of his father David, he set up the division of the priest for their duties. This is Solomon. And the Levites for their watches, to praise and to serve alongside the priest according to each day's requirement. So 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse, that was 8, that was chapter 8, not 7, verse 14. But it goes along with what I was expressing as what the Most High has ordained us to do. There's certain tribe and the Levites, they were to watch the signs and to continue our feast days and our sacrifices, right? And to serve alongside the priest according to each day's requirement. Let me finish out with 14. And the gatekeepers and their watchers, gate by gate, for such was the commandment of David, the man of the Most High. Now we go to 14 here in 7. And it reads, when my people who bear my name humble themselves, pray and seek my favor, and turn from their evil ways, I will hear in my heavenly abode and forgive their sins and heal their land. So when we're talking about this collection of righteous men, and we're talking about these end times, and we're looking at the symbolicism of plantations burning down, people escaping from prisons, we're looking at the debacle of the world. We're looking at the emboldens of wickedness to walk into a park of people minding their own business. And it's odd because I looked really hard for a report on these 2 Ku Klux Klan members from a news outlet. I could only find it on Instagram. A guy had a clip that was from there, and it was partially playing. They showed the 2 faces, which I posted on my NOLA Black Masking page. So you don't have this all over the place. It's not national news that these 2 guys walked in with Klan's outfit and got killed, because it would spark, right? It would spark the fact that others may want to do this. As we are at 3 o'clock, right? I posted that there is going to be a Zoom link for Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso and 2 gentlemen, a Ramsey and a Malik. These 2 gentlemen are a part of organizations that are trying to empower Black people here. I don't want to say that they're representing Pan-Africanism. That's a whole nother story. But these 2 gentlemen are not Hebrews. Let me say that. These 2 gentlemen, Ramsey, much respect for. Malik, I don't know at all. So I don't want to speak about him. I don't know anything about him, and I know very little about his organization. So I would be ill to speak upon him. But I don't necessarily believe that they speak for the entirety of, I would call, Negroes here in the United States. But it is a very good opportunity for us to see how Mr. Captain Ibrahim Traoré is going to deal with people that are from here that are not speaking what they have been hearing from Langley or from the United States, but a people that are from here. Like I said in the beginning, the black people or the Swarty people or the African American is not monolith in its belief system, in its thought process, or in its behavior. So these two gentlemen, even though they're not part of my circle of behavior or thought process, I do want to see what they bring forth. I want to see what their platform is, and I want to see what he has to say, because that is the bridge that we're going to eventually make. And it's not because we need them or they need us. Individually, we need what I'm reading today. We need to be a collection of righteous men where we stand in our place of abode. And when those stand up in different pockets, they will ultimately connect, because that's what righteous men want to do. So regardless of what the first regime is going to and what I consider to be a righteous man in Ibrahim Toreh, Captain, whether they are that example, they are the first wave. So that's at 3 o'clock. But we got scripts to do, so we're going to knock our scripts out, and then we're going to tune into that there, right? Because first thing is first, as an example, the Most High, right? So, and it says, when my people who bear my name humble themselves, pray, and seek my favor, and turn from their evil ways, I will hear in my heavenly abode and forgive their sins and heal their land. I believe you're seeing an example of that in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. I believe that you will continue to see that, and it doesn't have to be over waters, but over rivers and over streams and over the Mississippi and over the Gulf of Mexico. If you pray unto the Most High, he says he's going to hear those prayers. Are you praying with intention? Do you know his scripture that he's already prophesied? You should be praying for those prophecies to come true, because those prophecies are for you. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. Two are better off than one, in that they have greater benefit from their earnings. For should they fall, one can raise the other. But woe betide him who is alone and falls with no companion to raise him. Further, when two lie together, they are warm. But how can he who is alone get warm? Also, if one attacks two, can one stand up to him? There, a threefold cord is not readily broken. Verse 13, better a poor but wise youth than an old but foolish king, who no longer has the sense to heed warnings. For the former can emerge from a dungeon and become king, while the latter, even if born to kingship, can become a pauper. Understand the Most High's outline that in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, that it is better for two, that when two or more are together, he's present. So when we say a collection of righteous men, why are we doing this? Why is there a need for a collection of righteous men? Does it say that the righteous men have to be all Hebrews? Does it say that righteous men have to be all Christians, Islam, Moors, whatever you want to call yourself, African American, Negro, nigger, whatever it want to be? Doesn't seem to matter. What seems to matter is the understanding of being righteous, that when two or more righteous are standing together, there is power, there is survival, there is, if you slip, your brother will catch. And not only catch, but raise you up. That's, yeah. Let's go to 1 Chronicles chapter 16. First Chronicles, chapter 16. We're going to verse 11. First Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 11. Turn to the Most High, to his might. Seek his presence constantly. So if two or more together, we praying, we talking about the Most High, we raising each other, that's the beginning of a nation. That's the foundation of a nation. I see a Cote's in the building. Thank you for making it on IG. This righteousness, which as you are going to listen at 3 p.m. or 3:15 when I finish, 3:20ish when I finish, when you turn in to the Ibrahim captain's interview, you are looking for righteousness. You're looking for the words that come out of Ramsey. You're looking at the word that come out of Malik mouth. You're looking at the word that come out of Captain mouth. You want them to align with righteousness. If not, then it's a waste of all time, of all of our time. We must understand that it's not about color, that it's about righteousness. It is the rule stick in which the Most High says. And when we gather together, two or more together, when we are in righteousness, the Most High is there. In this verse 11, the Most High says, turn to the Most High, to his might, and seek his presence constantly. Remember the wonders he has done. Verse 12, his portents and the judgments he has pronounced. Let's go to Isaiah 41:10. Isaiah 41:10, and it reads, fear not, for I am with you. Be not frightened, for I am, for I hire your Shaddai. I strengthen you and I help you. I uphold you with my victorious right hand. His right hand is known as the hand of righteousness. With his right hand, which means that if you are of righteousness, if you are trying to build in righteousness, if you are being the essence of that, he's going to take you through a trek, because there's not a whole lot of righteousness out here. There's going to be many organizations. There's going to be many people talking. You ought to vet all of them. As the Most High says in Sirach, right? In Barak, the book, he says, look, give no man a pat on the back and tell him he's great until you have vetted him. Regardless if he does something good immediately, some magic trick. As I posted on my Facebook page, there's the guy did a reading of Christopher Columbus's journal when he sent back to Spain. And what he said was he had found the most beautiful and righteous people he had ever come across. He said in the world. Christopher Columbus said they were gentle. They would give you anything that you needed, that these people were awesome. And then right after he said that they would be great slaves, great servants. And that with only 50, they could subdue all the people he found in the Caribbean, which he was in Taino, he was in Haiti. So on this island of Hispaniola, he called it, one side Dominican Republic and the other side is Haiti. He said these were the most beautiful, nice, give you the shirt off their back. They know what God is. They have a sing. These will be great people to subdue, to imprison. And they're so nice, we wouldn't even need an army. We just need 50. They're so nice, we wouldn't even need an army. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. And it reads, fear not, for I am with you. Be not frightened, for I am Shaddai. I strengthen you and I help you up. I uphold you with my victorious right hand. The Most High will take you through many organizations and people. You must do your vetting, because it is not a whole lot of us righteous people. It's not a whole lot of people that adhere to the Old Testament, that adhere to his law. No. But when we watch this at 3, We are yet again looking at it through the lens of the Most High and nothing else. Let's go to Psalms 55. Psalms 55. I think y'all going to really understand what I'm talking about here. Psalm 55. We're going 1 through 20. For the leader in the instrumental music, a musical for David. Give ear, O Shaddai, to my prayer. Do not ignore my plea. Pay heed to me and answer me. I am tossed about, complaining and moaning at the clamor of the enemy. Is that not what we're all doing every day? We're trying to find who we are. We're trying to create organizations. We're trying to uplift ourselves. We're trying to teach our kids righteous. We are tossed about, complaining and moaning at the clamor of the enemy because of the oppression of the wicked. For they bring evil upon me and furiously harass me. My heart is convulsed within me. The heart is throwing up inside his own body. This is supposed to be a musical, right? My heart is convulsed within me. Terrors of death assail me. Fear and trembling invade me. I am clothed with horror. If you don't admit that's how you are right now in America and not knowing what the next thing is going to be, then I don't know where you are. I am clothed with terror. I said, oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I will fly away and find rest. That's what that heathen Snoop stole that verse in the song, you know what I'm saying, in 6-4, right? Let's ride, right? Only if I had flings, I would fly away like a dove and find rest. Surely I would flee far off. I would lodge in the wilderness, Selah. I would soon find me a refuge from the sweeping wind, from the tempest. O Most High. So that's, as a bird, it's saying that if it was too windy for me to fly, I would stop. If it was too hot, the tempest from the sun, I would get rest. It says, oh, Most High, confound their speech, confuse it, for I see lawlessness and strife in the city. Day and night, they make their rounds on its walls. Evil and mischief are inside it. Malice is within it. Fraud and deceit never leave the square. Is that not America? Is that not United States? That's the United States I know. I don't care what fairy tale you got. This is the U.S. that I know, the corporation that I know. Malice is within it. Fraud and deceit never leave its square. It is not an enemy who reviles me. I could bear that. It is not my foe who vaunts himself against me. I could hide from that. But it is you, my equal, the so-called my citizens, so-called my brothers, my sisters, even if you want to call them white or you want to call them Asian, you want to call them Arab, whatever you want to call them, we in this nation together, and how we treat each other is supposed to be like brothers and sisters regardless. So I don't get that. I don't feel that when I walk in Arab stores. I don't get that. I don't feel that. I don't feel that when I walk in certain corporations, certain businesses and establishments, certain neighborhoods. I don't get that in New Orleans. I don't feel that in Louisiana. I feel very segregated. I feel very watched. I feel very oppressed. I feel like if I say the wrong thing here, police can show up and I'll be in handcuffs, back into bondage, or a deeper level of bondage. Verse 14, it says, but it is you, my equal, my companion, my friend. Sweet was our fellowship. We walked together in the Most High's house. You Christians, you hypothetical Christians, You hypothetical Catholics, you hypothetical Baptists, you hypothetical Seventh-day Adventists, you hypothetical Pentecost, you hypothetical bastards, because you have no father. You pray to one you call a brother. You are bastards. You have no father. Do you understand what a bastard is? You gave up your father for an idol. You're a bastard. So when your plantation burns, when our people flee from your NOPD, when they flee from your OPP, we celebrate. Because there's too many innocent in OPP, too many innocent picked up by the NOPD that we don't know. We don't know which one of those 11 deserve to be there. We don't know. So therefore, just like Muhammad Ali said, in his analogy, if there are a whole bunch of snakes running to my house and I got to protect my home, and somebody says, well, there's 3 or 4 good snakes in there, am I going to keep my door open until I get to those 3 snakes and let the bad ones in? No. So it's vice versa. Out of them 11, they're all innocent until proven guilty once again for me. So as the plantations burn down, as the Ku Klux Klan members get shot and killed, and they're emboldened, trying to follow their orange leader. No. Most High says these were people that's supposed to be with us, right? We all Americans. We can go fight their wars. We can go and kill for them. We can do all these things. Make sure we pay our taxes. We fellowship, sweet fellowship. We walk together in the Most High's house. Let him incite death against them. May they go down alive into Sheol. For where they dwell, their evil is. Because wherever they dwell, their evil is. So they might as well go down to Sheol. As for me, I call upon the Most High. And the Most High will deliver me. Evening, morning, and noon, I complain and moan. And he hears my voice. He redeems my unharmed from the battle against me. He said he redeems me unharmed from the battle against me. It is as though many are on my side. Ooh. When you got the Most High on your side, when you go to war, it feels like you got a whole army behind you. If you listen to the Most High, you listen to your Ruach HaKodesh, you listen to your spirit. Now, if you listen to the naysayers, oh no, you definitely losing. You ain't got no chance if you listening to them. I love the young boy, Shedeur Sanders. And I love the fact that he was picked 144 as the song that I played was 144 of the righteous that would be vindicated, would be the soldiers that will come. Shedeur says something I thought was great. He said, I'm not trying to prove y'all wrong. I'm trying to prove me right. Oh, oh man, there's so much power in that statement. I am not trying to prove you wrong. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong with Jesus. I ain't here to tell you that you're wrong with Allah. I ain't here to tell you that you're wrong with Muhammad. I'm proving to you that the Most High is the creator of all things. His word reigns true. His prophecies is what you having a view of. It says, it is though many are on my side. The Most High, who has reigned from the first, who will have no successor. He's going to have no successor. That's what he says by David. So y'all not going to believe David. Y'all not going to believe the report that he's not going to have a successor. That there's no such thing as somebody else coming. There's no such thing as that praying to anybody else. There's no such thing as any other foolishness, bamboozle that you want to have. There will be no successor. Did we read it wrong? Successor. S-U-C. Ces. C-E-S. Sor. S-O-R. We phonetically both. None. Ain't gonna have one. It is only the Most High. Anything else, you's a bastard. Yeah, what it is. Y'all need to wake up in this hour. This hour. Let's go to Jeremiah 29. Only righteousness shall reign. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. And it reads, "For I am mindful of the plans I have made concerning you, declares the Most High, plans for your welfare, not for your disaster, to give you a hopeful future." If no one has ever told you, the Most High does have a plan for you, to have a hopeful future, to have a future that is full of his barakas, his blessings, his peace. Psalms 133. Psalms 133. It's real short. It says, a song of accents of David. How good and how pleasant it is that brothers dwell together. Title of the lesson, a collection of righteous men. Brothers mean that we come from the same father. You get it? Brothers mean that we got the same father. Not stepbrother, not play cousin. Brothers, sisters, same father. Nobody else. I ain't calling on no other demonic or what you think is good or what you think has done something for you. No other name. If you're my brother, if you're my sister, we have one father. Just one. I am Logan's stepfather, not his blood. He has a sister and brothers that his blood. That's his brothers and sisters. My son is not his older brother. It is his step older brother. Do you understand? Love him. We all together. Raise him like he's mine, because he is. So he's grafted in my family. I'm grafted into him. Because we what? Same father as the Most High. Same belief. Same understanding, not a belief. Same understanding. Right? It says, it is like fine oil on the head running down unto the beard of Aaron, that comes down over the collar of his robe, like a dew of Hermon, that falls upon the mountains of Zion. There the Most High ordained Barak of everlasting life. There he ordained us to have everlasting life. Let's go to Proverbs 27:17. Brothers coming together under our Father is what the Most High ordains. Proverbs 27:17. This is what we should be seeking in this hour. Seeking brothers that have the understanding of righteousness, fellowshipping with righteousness, understanding the same Father. A lot of people are going to want to put those type of things aside just so that the black man can win. I saw a brother that was totally outraged. They put, about the Ku Klux Klan coming into the Atlanta area, and the black man was like, we need to put all of that religion on the side. And understand that us as black people, we are under attack and we need to come together. And I'm like, that sounds good. Oh man, that sounds real good. 1 second, guys. I got an itch. I got to get. That sounds real good. You know what I'm saying? That sounds real good. But in actuality, it's been done before. And not only has it been done before, it's failed before. And it's failed miserably before. Yeah. I mean, it sounds good. Don't get me wrong. LFAC sounds good. But you got no law of the Most High. He says that's the only way he's going to uphold it. Many have tried for centuries. I ain't talking about since the 60s. You don't know about our brothers in Portugal and in Spain. You don't think they tried? You don't think the one that was down there in the land of Judah was trying? Down there in what they call Nigeria right now? You don't think they tried to come together and say, forget all that? We're gonna come together. Y'all ain't never thought that nobody ever tried to come together and say, forget what you religiously believe, forget what you hold dear to you, forget all that. Let's just come together and win this. Have you not noticed that the only ones that win that are the ones that never had the Most High in the first place? That they worship wicked and they create their own gods? It's never the Most High, though. So don't tell me about France. Don't tell me about Rome. Don't tell me about Greece. I'm telling you that they created their own gods. They don't believe in the Most High. They created their gods so that they can worship and do the evil, the debauchery, the barbaric things that they do. They enslaved you, and now they tell you that their God is benevolent and you follow it. Ooh. Ooh. Crazy, huh? Absolutely crazy. They don't follow the Most High in His law. It's all fallen. Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the wit of his friend. If I don't come at you and tell you like this, if I don't stand on this as true iron, as the Most High's iron, then how can I make Logan stronger? How can I make Hiram stronger? How can I make Brother Yawan stronger? Brother Adon stronger? Brother Michael stronger? How can I do that if I don't stand strong, Brother Israel? If I don't hold this court, if I don't be the rod, how? Let's go to Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31. Jeremiah 31, verse 31. See, a time is coming, declares the Most High, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharallah and the house of Judah. So that's what you got in your books, right? A New Testament. And they're trying to tell you that from this Jeremiah 31, verse 31 is why they got a New Testament, and they tell you to worship somebody else. But let's read what it actually says, though. It says, I will make a new covenant with the house of Yasharallah and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their fathers when I took them out of the land, out of the hand, when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant which they broke. So let's understand that even though the Old Testament and the covenant the Most High has still in place, we broke it and have been breaking it. That's why you follow these other gods. That's why you got all of this for this captivity you in. That's why you got so much niceness for all of these things that go against the Most High, all this understanding you got for it. So he said, I took you by your hand. I took you out of the land, and you broke the covenant, though I exposed, he said, though I espoused them, declares the Most High. But such is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after these days, declares the Most High. So he says, I'm going to make another covenant after the days. So that would mean the end time, right? Not in the same day, because we're in the same day as that. The Most High has not made a new covenant yet. And you want to believe that because he said he sent somebody down that died for our sins, that he let somebody else kill him. That's not what he said was going to happen here. He says, but such this covenant I will make with the house of Yasharallah after these days, declares the Most High. And this is the most important part. I will put my teachings into the innermost parts and inscribe it upon their hearts. So you ain't gonna have no damn book. You gonna know it. He gonna have it in your heart. Ooh, my goodness. So they telling you got a New Testament and a new God. The Most High said, when I give you a New Testament, it's gonna be inscribed in you. It's gonna be inscribed in you. So much so, he says, in the innermost parts and inscribe it upon their hearts. Then I will be their Shaddai, and they will be my people. No longer will they need to teach one another and say to one another, heed the Most High. As we were talking with Bellis on the day, regard is the word that goes with heed. You mean you will regard my words, you will take them, you will follow them, you will do them. See, you will take heed to the Most High, for all of them, let's say, teach one another and say to one another, heed the Most High, for all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall heed me, declares the Most High. For I will forgive their iniquities and remember their sins no more. That's what we in this game for. We know we're going to slip and fall. I know I'm going to slip and fall in between now and the judgment day of his new covenant that he's going to inscribe upon us. But obviously right now I'm teaching. So obviously that new covenant hasn't come yet. We still on the old. Obviously. But some people will argue, will debate. And say, no, there's a new, because of this person died and this person said something and somebody. No, man. No, man. No. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 14. I'm almost out of here, guys. Ezekiel 14, 12 and 18, 12 through 18. Ezekiel chapter 14, 12, verse 12 through 18. The word of the Most High came to me, O mortal, if a land were to sin against me and commit trespass, and I stretched out my hand against it and broke its staff of bread and sent famine against it and cut off man and beast from it, even if these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, should be in it, they would be their righteousness. It would be their righteousness, saves only themselves, declares the Most High. So the Most High said, if I send famine, if I send destruction, I send beasts, I send all these things into a place. If Noah, Daniel, and Job was there, they would, by their righteousness, save only themselves. So nobody can save you. Not even a Daniel, if the prophet was right here. Not even if Noah, the father of us all, was right here. So how can you believe another man can do this? Oh, they had to tell you that he was God. That's what it was. Most High said that no man can save another man. Only your righteous acts can save you. Only your righteous acts, declares the Most High. Or if I were to send wild beasts to roam the land, and they depopulated it, and it became a desolation with no one passing through it because of the beast. As I live, declares the Most High. The Most High said again, I live. I didn't get killed. Ain't nobody killing me. As I live, declares the Most High, those three men in it would save neither sons nor daughters. They alone would be saved. But the land would become a desolation. Nobody can speak for you. Only you can speak for yourself. As much as I love Hiram, as much as I love Logan, the Most High is not going to listen to my prayers, my plea, not my prayers, but my plea if they die and have not done righteous. The Most High said, I ain't going to hear that, man. They had to save themselves by their own words, by their own deeds, by their own actions. Love my wife, but her actions is going to get her next to the Most High. Verse 17, or Or if I were to bring the sword upon the land and say, let a sword sweep through the land so that I may cut off from it man and beast. If those three men should be in it, as I live, declares the Most High, Shaddai, they would save neither son nor daughters, but they would be saved. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 15. Almost out of here, guys. I only got 3. Y'all can go on and get on the call because I'm going to get on it too, the Zoom link. Proverbs chapter 15. You ready, Logan?
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 29. Then Logan's going to read his verse that he's prepared. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 29. And it says, the Most High is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayers of the righteous. I mean, we really could have done the whole show just on that. The Most High is far from the wicked. And he also saves from afar, as he did with Egypt, right? With the plagues, with the tornado, with the weather. But he hears the prayers of the righteous. What brightens the eye gladdens the heart. Good news puts fat on the bones. Yes, and what you got, Morgan?
Topic, Proverbs 12,
Yes.
verse 10.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 10.
Whatever is righteousness as regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel.
So I'm gonna read how it reads in mine. It says, a righteous man knows the needs of his beast. It's like our dog. Manny doesn't speak, but we know when Manny got to use the bathroom. We know when Manny need to eat. We know when Manny want to be pet. You know what I'm saying? And it says, a righteous man knows the needs of his beast, but the compassion of the wicked is cruelty. Cruelty. The wicked knows not how to be righteous. The wicked knows not how to be gentle. The wicked knows not how to nurture. The wicked doesn't know how to temper their words so that they can be sweet. The wicked don't know that. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51. Thank you, Logan. Jeremiah chapter 51. Verse 20. Jeremiah 51, verse 20. You are my war club, my weapons of battle. With you, I club nations. So when we talk about a collection of righteous men, what is the Most High going to do with the collection of righteous men? He is going to use them as his war club, weapons of battle. With you, I club nations. With you, I destroy kingdoms. So when you see the brother Torre, no matter what religion they put upon him, his acts are righteous. If you are a righteous person, but you are claiming something else, that's between you and the Most High. But I can work with you. I can walk with you if you're about righteousness. Because the Most High said there's always been a mixed multitude with us. There's always been Gentiles among us, but they have followed the law of the Most High, and we have not followed them. So the Most High says, verse 21, with you I club horse and rider. With you I club chariot and driver. With you I club man and woman. With you I club gray beards and boys. With you I club youth and maiden. With you I club shepherd and flock. Shepherds and flocks. The righteous will beat down all these people. It doesn't matter, they're wicked. It doesn't matter if they're a shepherd. It doesn't matter if they're the flock. It doesn't matter if they're gray beard or they're a young boy. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if it's a horse or the rider, the chariot or the driver. With you I club plowman and team. With you I club governors and prefects. but I will requite Babylon and all its inhabitants of Chaldea, which is present day Iran. No, yeah, Iran. No, Iraq, excuse me, present day Iraq. So our last verse for the night, or for today, for this Shabbat, is Zechariah chapter 10, which, as my wife informed me, is a minor prophet. Zechariah. I think Zechariah takes us home, makes it very clear on what we should be and how we should be in this hour. Zechariah 10, verses 1 through 9. Ask the Most High for rain in the season of late rain. So the Most High has a season for everything. If you're asking the Most High for something out of season, it doesn't mean that he has not heard you or is not answering. It is just not the season for it. I need y'all to hear that. I need you to tap your neighbor and tell him, get some understanding. Ask the Most High for rain in the season of late rain. It is the Most High who causes storms, and he will provide rainstorm for them, grass in the fields for everyone. For the teraphim spoke delusion. The augurs predict falsely. The augurs predict falsely, and dreamers speak lies and console with illusion. That is why my people have strayed like a flock. And it tells you right there. You got people with these crystal balls. You got palm readers. You got people with these illusions of a rapture that the Most High is going to take 2/3. You got lies of these dreamers, right? It says they suffer for lack of a shepherd. Like I said, they have no father. They're bastards. My anger is roused against the shepherds, and I will punish the he-goats. That's what the Greeks, the Most High referred to the he-goats as the Greeks, who brought you your Jesus with Romans, right? For the Most High of hosts of the army has taken thought in behalf of his flock, the house of Judah, Yehudah. He will make them like majestic chargers in battle. Oh yeah, battle clubs and also majestic chargers, almost like a lightsaber. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Star Wars. From them shall come cornerstones. Our children will be cornerstones of the new nation. From them tent pegs, and from them bows of combat. And every captain shall also arise from them. And together they shall be like warriors in battle. Like I said, as you're going to check out Torre, Captain Torre, I believe is an example of these things. And then we must collect as righteous men and understand that this is what we are ordained, and this is what the prophecy is for us to become and what we must do. We must be battle axes for the Most High, but first we must get our righteousness in order so that we can be used by the Most High. And at that point, you ain't got to worry about nothing else. He's going to give you the strength. He's going to renew you. He's going to give you the strength of 10 men, whatever's needed for your task. He's going to give the intelligence of 30. He's going to give. But you got to first be righteous. He says, and together they shall be like warriors in battle, tramping in the dirt on the streets. They shall fight, for the Most High shall be with them, and they shall put horsemen to shame. I will give victory to the house of Judah and triumph to the house of Joseph. That's Israel, Yasharallah, the northern 10 tribes. I will restore them, for I have pardoned them, and they shall be as though I had never disowned them. All praise unto the Most High. For I, the Most High, am their creator, and I will answer their prayers. Ephraim shall be like a warrior, and they shall exult as with wine. Their children shall see it and rejoice. They shall exult in the Most High. I will whistle to them and gather them, for I will redeem them. They shall increase and continue increasing. For though I sowed them among the nations in the distant places, they shall remember me, as we're doing. They shall escape with their children and shall return. I will bring them back from the land of Egypt and gather them from Assyria, and I will bring them from the lands of Gilead and Lebanon, and even they shall not suffice for them. Yes. A hammer in force shall pass over the sea, and shall stir up waves in the sea, and all the depths of the Nile shall dry up. The Most High says, a hammer in force. I pray that we are that force. Down shall come the pride of Assyria, and the scepter of Egypt shall pass away. All praises to the Most High. That is our last verses for tonight. I went past 9. I went all the way down to 11, but that's Zechariah. But you, on your own studies, continue to read, understand. See, David's in the building. Understand there's a time for a collection of righteous men. I see one young Micah in the building. Be that collection. Now, young Micah, definitely want everybody to go to the NOLA Black Masculine Inyan page on Facebook. I have the flyer up for the link for you to watch the interview with Captain Ibrahim Torre and Ramsey and a gentleman named Malik. I'm about to tune in as soon as I get off. All praises to the Most High. Let's vet them and see that they are speaking the righteousness of the Most High. And will they be a part of the battle axes that will be coming forth through the Most High? Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. See you guys on Monday.